everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to go ahead and make a salsa guisada. Now with this salsa, I make it every week and it goes by very fast in my household. My family and I, we typically love to eat a lot of salsa and chiles. So with this salsa recipe, we're going to go ahead and make it on the stove. This salsa is known to be hot and spicy. Now for the ingredients, what you're going to be needing is 4 tomatoes, 4 garlic cloves, half of 1 onion, 4 Serrano chiles, a can of tomato sauce, salt, and cooking oil. Now I'm going to go ahead and get started on cutting and separating the vegetables. So in this bowl, I'm going to go ahead and be putting the tomato and the serranos. And in this bowl, I'm going to go ahead and put the garlic and the onions. This is the way how I cut my garlic. Go ahead and I separate the garlic from its shell. And I give it a nice hit to the knife. Now I'm going to start cutting my garlic in small pieces. It doesn't really matter how you cut your garlic because at the end everything's going to be mixed and delicious. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my garlic to its little bowl. And now I'm going to add the onion as well with the garlic. This is how I cut my onions. Now it doesn't matter how you cut your onions because at the end it's all going to be mixed up. But with this recipe, I like to go ahead and make my onions very fine. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the onion with my garlic. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut the tomatoes. Now with the tomatoes, you don't have to cut them so small like the way I did with the onions, because at the end they're all going to end up being mashed while cooking. So now I'm going to go ahead and start cutting my serranos. This salsa is meant to eat it spicy, so I'm going to go ahead and keep the seeds in there. But if you do not want a hot spicy salsa, then you can go ahead and remove the seeds. Now, it doesn't matter how you cut your serranos because at the end, everything is going to be mashed up together. So right now I'm just cutting my serranos in little circles, because I want to keep the seeds still within the serrano. Now, once your pan is nice and hot, go ahead and start adding the onion and the garlic. Give it a nice mix. And go ahead and let it brown for about 2 minutes. Now once the 2 minutes have passed, you can go ahead and start adding the tomatoes and the serranos. And since my bowl was too small, I couldn't fit in both my tomatoes and the serranos together. Now, you're going to go ahead and let it start cooking. And then after that, you go ahead and leave it covered for about 5 minutes. So let it cook right now for about 2 minutes. Okay, so after 5 minutes, it should go ahead and look like this. Okay, go ahead and give it a good mix. You see how soft it is? Now I'm going to go ahead and add the tomato sauce. Now usually with the tomato sauce, I put water in here, mix it up, so that way I can go ahead and use up all the tomato sauce that's in there. Okay, so I went ahead and I filled up my little can of tomato sauce with a little bit more water. Used up all the tomato sauce that was in here. I'm going to go ahead and continue stirring this. Now that it's nice and soft, I'm going to go ahead and add my salt. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to add half a teaspoon of black pepper. So after I added my salt and my pepper, I'm going to go ahead and give it another mix. And now, while this is still heating up, I'm going to go ahead and start mashing my vegetables. Now this will go ahead and release all the juices that the tomatoes, the serranos, the onions, and the garlic are holding in. And this will provide me a little bit more spices and a little bit more juice from the vegetables. Okay, so after mashing it up very, very thoroughly, which for me it took about at least a minute, 2 minutes for me to mash up all my vegetables very good, it's gonna go ahead and start looking like a very smooth salsa. Okay, so now that I'm done making my salsa guisada, I went ahead and I served it on the side of tortilla chips, which is a very beautiful, delicious snack that I love. With this salsa guisada, you can put it on barbecue, you can put it in your soups, you can go ahead and serve it on the side like this. You can go ahead and put it in your tacos, your breakfast tacos, your flautas. And now I'm going to go ahead and try out my favorite salsa guisada. It is actually very good, very flavorful. But if you all have family members that do not like a lot of spice in their salsas, go ahead and remove 1 chile serranos, or as I said before, go ahead and remove the seeds. So thank you all for joining me today in making salsa guisadas. I hope to see you all soon. Please go ahead and subscribe, comment, give me your honest feedback, and thank you for watching.